jiko. Kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kani zanu ndizo panda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu tikufuna chilengede cha pano osati mapocket anu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. Kwenyu kunata pano, we take the race. Tikonza jiko. Kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kani zanu ndizo panda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu tikufuna chilengede cha pano osati mapocket anu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. Kwenyu kunata pano, we take the race. Tikonza jiko. Kwenyu ndemwe chabe
Leero bwacha bakamba mu kyalo ky'esu kya Zambia ekyaweka Enjoy. Abantu baafa bakamba kule mu nfumbwe. More than 20 people balebe pati ni babiri. Bagamba. Fish to Arufyanya. People have died. Mumino Yabakapokola. The police killing people. Why? In the same government, Bagamba, abductions have happened. Bagamba, if you're not with them, it's either you're dead or you're in prison. This government, you're going to change big man. Fish to Arufyanya Pakubika Moves. Fish to Arufyanya. Why me? Missing. Achani Ruba Mwaicho and Dizona. Where is why me? Change, tell us with your government, where is why me? Give us why me. Justice for why me, big man. Wachila mo HH. Wala tupwisha bega kutupwisha bagamba. Katwale kyo kulanda big man. Oh, you think? Maina watata. Zambia tuwasevana. Bagamba. Wanesa tuwakweni. Mujala chetu. Ichi ya Zambia. Tuamona mwempwa. Bagamba. Tuamona mwempwa. Nama abductions bagamba. Ubuteko tuwaleta. Watulete lama. Amazara mush. No you can take. Kola ipompa tudeka. No you can take. Apa nomba bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. When you day akwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Ika yakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuriati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mayona batata. Mayona batata. Bayuthi. Tentwisuli amenso. Batusendela nomba batwipaila na hope Yesu. Endika chagwa lungu watubela tinani mkwatila plan B. Nomba tuwalishiba plan B aba mmino ya kualesa. Bantu banga abalafu mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia. Nibanga abantu abala abducted mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia. Bambire kuli jeje banda. Nibanga abantu abala ba prison. Abena kitotela kilangwa. Bonze baba prison n'entunguru kina shimbi. Muri one government ya kwa HH. Abantu naba mweleza. Aikata nomba baikata na kuyetika chakwa lungu atukwatile plan B. Abakubo byabyo mufulo big man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Bilabine batsendela yetika chakwa. Abano babane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. When you say akwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Ija yakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuriati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. HH does not mean well for Mother Zambia. Zambia to Asebana, this is not the Mother Zambia that we were left with by our ancestors, our forefathers who fought so hard to liberate us. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Nalumino Mundia, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, they fought so hard to put this country on the map, to put this country where it is today. No man would destroy this country because we believe in unity. One Zambia, one nation, and we shall together we will change, and we are going to change this government. My name is Blaze Zambia.
Good evening and welcome to today's broadcast. Today we have a special guest, renowned Lusaka lawyer, Makebi Zulu, who recently just flew into the country the other day and has since filed in his expression of interest to stand on the Patriotic Front ticket. Remember, the PF already has 9 candidates, and Central Committee on Third made a decision to open up the process, and the process has since attracted 4 new presidential candidates. Number one, acting president Given Luinda, a South African-based businessman Joseph William Dolo, a Lusaka businessman and Luapula MP Chanda Katotowe, and today we had Makebi Zulu. Let's just check what happened at the Secretariat today.
Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu! Damn quiet. But don't you know?
That was Makebi Zulu filing his nominations.
So twikonganya ukulapa tulukana twikatane fenganshi bamabanzi PF twikatane bamabanzi twikatane nangenshi emalala etatuleya so nimweba nati ene ni wesu kumweba okutila ndeshindika na bakandidate aba na temwasali okachilanda. He was talking about unity ebutungulushi kumwezi uko nafuma tatulanda achilandelande tulandila mwisa munyimbo ati kutekembwa mano kutekembwa mano ayakula mano watekembwa mutiku yaya kutekembwa mano kutekembwa mano ayakula mano watekembwa mutiku yaya to keep it donkey sense and to keep it donkey sense I love to sense it you keep it donkey
tizapitiriza kukamba nkhani za chitukuko konse kwa tiyenda koma pamunilole kuti nimchiteni invite ku inauguration ceremony next year mu August ku Hero Stadium pamene kuzabwera MZ8 new Zikon.
Makebi Zulu is inviting you to his inauguration that will take place next year. That's the extent of his confidence. Let me bring Mr. Makebi Zulu here and we begin the discussion. Honorable Makebi Zulu, good day and welcome to today's program and welcome back in Zambia. I think the last time you left our country was in January this year, and you've been in South Africa attending to the obvious that the country is aware of. Welcome to Zambia. And how did today go?
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I'm greatly humbled to be on your show once again. And how did today go? Today was exciting. It was humbling. It was solemn. It was a mixture of feelings. The party is at a point when it is about to choose leaders or have people that are going to run the party, perhaps following the demise of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who was president of the party And during that ceremony, I did state that perhaps we're not looking for a replacement for President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, but we're looking to continue with the legacy of the Patriotic Front Party, because we can never replace a good man, or we can never fit into the shoes of a person like President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, just like we can never fit in the shoes of President Michael Sata. But we can continue with the legacy and the identity of the Patriotic Front Party, the programs of the Patriotic Front Party, and possibly tweak them to fit the times that we are living in right now. So it was a solemn moment for the reason that we have, at this point, by reason of the death of our former president. So that's what it was for me. That's what it was for me.
True, it was a mixture of emotions, both celebratory and again both and also solemn. The Patriotic Front has been on this journey. When the late president intimated that he wished to retire, before he came back in 2023, when the Patriotic Front there was an attempt to steal the political party. That journey of getting a new leader to replace a president was halted momentarily. With the demise of the president, the process was restarted. In the earlier process, you had Chimbaka Mbwili, myself, Mutotwe Kafwaya, Brian Munduvile, Greyford Monde, Miles Sampa, Dr. Chitalu Chilufia, GBM, and Goodward Mulubwa, a Lusaka businessman. This process has since been joined by yourself, Honorable Given Luwinda, Lwapula MP Mutotwe Kafwaya, Katotowe Chanda Katotowe, and Joseph Wheeler Mudolo from South Africa. The number swelled to I think to 13. Why did you decide to join the race? I know parameters will have changed. Maybe people like GBM and others may not stand. I am in foreign lands. Parameters have changed, but essentially these are your official candidates. Why did you join the race, and why did you think you should lead the Patriotic Front?
Like you said, parameters have changed from 2022 or 2021 to this particular point. Parameters have changed to the extent that there is a call for leadership, and Patriotic Front Party, being a democratic party that it is, a party that exercises democracy, a party that has gone through conventions where leadership has been changed successfully through conventions. It is the lifestyle. It is democracy is the lifeblood of our party, and our party does not restrict any person from participating in the democratic processes of the party. Neither does it intimidate anyone from participating in the democratic processes of the party, and that is the beauty of the Patriotic Front Party. We have espoused democracy to its very core. And coming to what caused my coming into this program, I remember during your last program, we did have a discussion as regards that matter, and the calls that came in were overwhelming, calling on the participation of myself in this particular process. But that is not to say that that was the first call, but there have been discussions. I have had discussions with quite a number of people that thought it may be fit to participate in this particular process. And obviously, being under the tutelage of great men like President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, I've had occasion to relate with President Rupia Bwezanibanda, and obviously my relationship with these presidents got stronger after they became former presidents, as it were. You may be aware that I was a lawyer for President Rupia Bwezanibanda in his case that we had until he eventually was acquitted. And I enjoyed that cordial relationship. and was attracted into politics by reason of the many clients that were affiliated to politics during this particular period. That's from 2011 coming all the way until now. So I grew that interest in politics, and of course, in our discussions in the political discourse of the country, I got to learn quite a lot of things, and I know that leadership is from God, and there are certain qualities that God reposes in each and every person, and God calls us to leadership in His own ways. And we may not by ourselves recognize that we have those traits, but people may speak into your life or of you to possess those particular qualities, and that was spoken of me and into my life, that I had those qualities, and I personally recognized those qualities, and what more or what better way to serve the people than to offer myself for leadership. And of course, the first time I offered myself for leadership was the time I participated in Malambo constituency. And the decision to contest in that particular election was birthed in 2016 of February 2016, the very year of the election. That was hardly 6 months before the election. And of course, I was under the tutelage at that particular time, or supervision, or the watchful eye of Honorable Maxwell Mwale, a very good man who introduced me to constituency politics. He was very robust in his approach to politics, in his relating with people. I learned quite a lot from him. And within that period of 6 months or less, I made it to become a member of parliament. And I see that it was not because I was a better contender, as it were, but it was God's doing. Because at that particular time, there was little known of me in Malambo constituency, and I participated in that election. Of course, borrowing the credibility of other people within the constituency. And I got to be elected as a member of parliament. And because I acknowledged that leadership is from God, I knew it was nothing to be proud of, because it was not my own doing, but it was God's doing. So when it came to 2021, you may know that I lost the election in 2021, and a lot of people keep talking about that to say, how come you're offering yourself for presidency?
Yeah, your detractors.
Constituency.
Your detractors don't seem to know what that
Exactly.
in life is failure. So they exploit that you were a member of parliament for Malambo, you failed in Malambo. Now you want the presidency. Maybe first you do your homework in Malambo and get re-elected in Malambo before you seek the presidency. What's your answer when your opponents push the issue that you did not succeed in 2021?
I was getting to that. And I'll tell you what my honest belief is. The loss in Malambo for me was not because I was less popular. My loss in Malambo was because my time had come to an end. I say so because if you look at the election of 2016, there was very little known of me. And my dependence at that particular time was on God, that God would do it. And in fact, He did do it. When it came to the 2021 election, I had everything I needed. I had all the money I needed to campaign. I had all the vehicles I needed to campaign. But there was this strong wind for change of government. And the change indeed was there. And for a fact, I thank God that I did not make it in that election. The reason I thank God I didn't make it in that election is, if I had made it in that election, I would have thought it was my own doing, because I had the money, I had everything that I needed to. Perhaps it was God saying, it is not about you. It is not what you have. I'm the one who appoints leaders. I'm the one who removes leaders. That is that is what I make of the 2021 election. And when I think back and look at where we are right now, I possibly realize that God had a reason for me not continuing to be a member of parliament. He had a reason because if I was still a member of parliament, I would not have had the opportunity for President Isiel to choose me and Mr. Msukwa, who also lost an election, to accompany him in South Africa, to spend the last days of his life with him in South Africa. God knew that perhaps he needed Honorable Msukwa. God knew that perhaps he needed myself to be with him. If we were members of parliament, perhaps we would not have been there. And perhaps even the issues around the party that were happening after that election, God possibly knew that I needed to dedicate that time to defend the party, to defend those who were being persecuted by the current government. He knew I needed to dedicate that time to save humanity, to save his people. And he gave me that opportunity to do so. He gave me that opportunity to grow. He gave me that opportunity to reflect on my leadership. He gave me that opportunity to learn even much more as to how to lead, as it were, in the best way possible. And all this happening until now, and the cause from the people, and through consultation, through prayer, through fasting, we get to a point where you realize I need to heed to this call, and hence coming to this position where I'm heeding to the call to leadership. It is not wrong to offer oneself up to leadership. And I think every person should be able to acknowledge that call to leadership and offer themselves up for leadership. Because we keep telling ourselves politics is a dirty game, because we choose to not participate in it. But if good people out there, those that believe that they're capable of leading, those that believe in the fair distribution of the wealth of the country, those that believe that a country needs good leaders to take up leadership positions, they need to come forth. They need to take up those roles. They need to realize that leadership is a call by God, and they need to obey the voice of God in taking up leadership positions. And I'll urge even much more, it shouldn't just end here, I would urge much more the younger generation, I would urge everyone to be able to participate in the political life of our country. We are at a point where this country needs a lot more patriots to participate in the growth of the country. We need a lot more people who care more for the country than they do for anything else, to participate in the political discourse of our country. We have perpetuated or allowed the politics of the country to be destroyed by men who should not ordinarily be holding those particular positions, because a lot of people have not offered themselves up for leadership. So my call is for more young people, more women, more youths, to take part in the political discourse of the country. Not because you feel the country owes you something, but because you owe the country something, and there's something that you think you can offer to the nation. And people are given a variety of people to select from. And choice is very necessary in life, and people must be given that choice to choose who they think would best respond to the needs that they have, who they think would be first amongst equals, not necessarily putting a boss who will be there, but leadership is simply being first amongst equals, so that you deliver to the expectations of those that you have been privileged to lead, not because you want to satisfy your own desires, but because it is desirable that everyone's desires be satisfied. That's what I would say as regards that.
Thank you. Since your arrival on Friday, I think you've spent time to see senior leaders of the country, senior leaders of the party. We saw pictures of you with former Vice President Mama Inonge Mutukwa Wina. And this morning, we saw the pictures of you with the Archbishop of Lusaka, the Catholic Archbishop of Lusaka, who apparently is also the family-appointed mediator in the matters regarding the late president. Why was it important that you see these senior people in your quest? Was it consultation? What was it?
I had with you, I did indicate that I would perhaps consult a number of people, or possibly those that I think would contribute to the discourse of this country, to the change in the trajectory of the politics of this country, and the realization. By the way, those that you have seen are not the only ones that we've been talking to. And this is not the end of for further consultations, but it is intended that we should be able to continue discussing this. And it is not born out of selfish ambitions, and that is the discussions that we had. And I had a very interesting discussion with State Counsel John Sangwa, and we seem to share the same view that at this particular point, we need to build a critical mass, critical numbers of Zambians who believe that change is possible, not for self-aggrandizement, but for the benefit of the country. What we need to cultivate in the Zambians is a sense of patriotism. And if we cultivate a sense of patriotism, we will raise a generation, or we will have a crop of leadership that knows that country comes first. Country comes first because what we have is limited time to live. But the ones that continue to live are those that succeed us. Succeed us in terms of leadership itself, or the younger generations that are coming. They should not be able to come and curse us, or indeed kick our coffins because we refuse to do what was supposed to be right by the country. We saw a wrong happening and we never did anything about it. To see a wrong happening and do nothing about it is a wrong in itself. And we have to arise as Zambians to correct the wrongs that we see, or indeed to put back this train called Zambia back on its rails. Because the vision when Zambia became Zambia was that it's going to be a prosperous nation. It's going to be a united nation. It's going to be a nation that aspires to give a better life to its citizens. But to have a situation where you begin to regress, you begin to fall off the rails that you're supposed to be on for purposes of development, then there's a call to leadership to put the train back on its rails. In this particular instance, we know that we have a civil service that is broken, a civil service that is divided, a civil service that does not respond to the aspirations of the Zambians, the civil service that no one admires anymore, no one wants to work there. And it is time that we started having this conversation of the civil service reforms. It is time that we started having a conversation where we say, what do we want in the civil service? Because if you have a broken down civil service, the policies that you're going to have as a government will not work. No one is going to follow what the policies of the government are, because the service is broken down. It's only serving the interests of few people. It's only serving the interests of a class of people. It's only serving the interests of the leadership. It's only serving the interests of those that are holding positions, but does not go further to look at what is the interest of a country. So you have that system that needs to be fixed. You have a judiciary that is in tatters. That needs to be fixed. A judiciary that does not respond to the aspirations of the people. A judiciary that is uncertain in its decisions. A judiciary that participates in perpetuating injustice. You don't want that for a country. You want a judiciary that responds to the needs of the people. People must be able to have confidence and trust in the judicial system to say that when we go to court, our matters will be resolved in time. Our matters will be resolved with certainty, and it will not depend on the whims or the mood of a judge or the person who is leading the country at that particular time. We can't have a system that is broken down to that extent that the law changes every time there's a new leader in office. It shouldn't be like that. There should be predictability in our systems. Right now, when it comes to confidence in our judiciary, it has greatly dropped. You can't have a system where you have a legislature that is so broken down that the laws that are being enacted are only meant to perpetuate the stay of those that are in power. You have the cybersecurity bill, which has been made so draconian, from one that was trying to address the issues of bullying to one that even invades the privacy of people, one that invades the secrecy perhaps of even organizations that may want to come and invest in the country. You can't have a system that tells you, give us the ability to hack into your system for the security that is not properly defined, but we must have an ability to get into your system. We must have an ability to listen into your cause. Where is the privacy that people ordinarily should be able to enjoy? Where does it stop? Where does the infringement of people's rights stop? Where does this attempt to perpetuate one's stay in power stop? What's the limit? You can't have such a system. So you need proper checks. You need proper laws that protect or laws that serve the interest of the people, and not laws that seem to stifle or quench the interest of the people and save the interests of those that are serving in those particular positions. You can't have such laws. And we must know that power is temporary or temporal, as it were, and we must use it to serve people and not to oppress them. And how do we do this? The institutions that are entrusted to make laws must be able to make sure that the laws that are being made are consistent with the Constitution, are consistent with the aspirations of the people, and not merely meant to perpetuate the stay of those that are holding office in power for a very long time. You have Bill 7 now, the so-called Bill 7, and we have the technical committee going around, not necessarily for people to give an input of what they want to be in the Constitution, but to affirm what is already being intended by the government. They can't say, these are the laws that we intend to put, because the idea is coming from the government. When it comes to constitutional amendments, the idea of amending the Constitution should come from the people. So people must be able to submit what they wish to be in the Constitution, not the government deciding for and on behalf of the people what should go in the Constitution. That is a system that is flawed. It's flawed because it is putting a cart before a horse. And in this particular case, it is not intended to serve the Zambian people. You can't have one going to say, okay, I anticipate I may lose the next election, so I must have power to nominate as many members of parliament in the event that I make it, but my members of parliament don't make it. I must have the power to nominate so many members of parliament, so I have control over the National Assembly. That is not the intention of democracy. That is not the intention of a country that wants to progress in terms of checks and balances. We need an accountable government, and an accountable government needs to have laws that hold those that hold the reins of power accountable. That is what we ought to be looking at. And that is what every Zambian is looking to have. When you settle these things, then you know that the policies that you are going to put that respond to issues of bread and butter will be followed. The policies that you put in place that are going to respond to issues of investment are going to be followed. The policies that you put in place that are going to respond to even issues of energy shall be followed. The energy policy for this country is very good, but is it being followed? It is not being followed, because of selfish interests of certain individuals, because of misprioritization of what ought to be prioritized, when you relegate your citizens to second class and put...
Yeah, just to support your position, the Oasis Forum, comprising the Law Association of Zambia, the Christian Council of Churches in Zambia, the Evangelical Fellowship in Zambia, and the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, have issued a very strong statement urging the president to literally withdraw the process. They've stated that the technical committee doesn't have legitimacy because there's no legal framework guiding it and surrounding it. They've also demanded that Bill 7 is dead, declared dead by the courts, and Bill 7 should not inspire the current process. But remember, they've issued terms of reference drawn from Bill 7 and from government's reason, the 13 reasons why they wanted to amend the constitution. They've also stated that this process must not be tied to elections. And going forward, the Oasis Forum has urged the government to abandon the process and establish a legal framework. And, absent from this constitution-making process must not be tied to the forthcoming elections. So it fits in exactly with what you are saying and what many stakeholders are saying, that this process is not only flawed, but literally is on the borderline of illegality. Before I take you into the issues of the country, there are nagging issues. You've taken a jump on these very fundamental decisions, and we're glad that Zambians have welcomed you. We've seen on social media the numbers of people supporting your decision. Today, we saw the numbers that turned up at the Secretariat. But, to the Zambians, every time you've been on the screen, it has been an issue of the late president, who's unfortunately, may so rest in peace. We haven't put him to rest. So did you have a discussion with the family over your decision? Just walk us through on that matter. Then I'll bring you to the issues of the Patriotic Front before we delve into the matters regarding the country.
Thank you very much. It would be naive of me to come to a decision to participate in the political discourse without consultation with the family. As a matter of fact, that ordinarily ought to be the first thing to do, and that is exactly what was done. We obviously had to sit down and say, this is a trajectory that I intend to take, and I'm asking for your blessing if I could participate in this particular process. And obviously, any reasonable person would have to do that. And beyond that, the conviction to do it can be acknowledged, or can be acknowledged by those that are around you, to agree that indeed they think you possibly could, and that belief itself is quite humbling for me. And beyond that, it's the wider consultations that are there. I know the issue that I've been seeing going back and forth is that you can't participate because you have this issue of the body to deal with. You have this issue of barrier to deal with. And I would like to state that the question of the burial of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is an issue for all of us. In speaking for and on behalf of the family, I communicate the desires of the family, the desires of the late president, as a person that is properly principled ought ordinarily to do. And I know many Zambians out there are principled enough to hold firm to the wishes of the deceased, hold firm to the wishes of the family in matters that are solemn as this particular one. It is not a comfortable matter to discuss, but it has been moved and made to seem as though the idea of the burial is a political move. Obviously, that is being drawn by the detractors. No one is talking about how that the family is not the one that went to court, how that the issues that surround this matter are issues of trust, the trust that has been broken down between the family and the government, not by reason of the actions of the family, but by reason of the actions of the government. And unless and until trust is built, which is what is being worked on to build trust between the family and the government, it would be very difficult and principled to give in to demands that you know will not eventually be followed. So in so doing, the decisions that are made and communicated to the public or communicated to the government for and on behalf of the public constitute the will and the wishes of the people. And any person with their sword or with any iota of morality should be able to respect those particular wishes and not replace the wishes of the deceased or indeed the wishes of the family with their own. To do so is what would be manipulative. But to be consistent in expressing the desires of the deceased, the desires of the family, is what any genuine person, any self-respecting person, any person with any iota of morality should be able to do. Now, this particular discussion has had play within the party.
Other issues. I know this is a very emotive matter for you. You delve into the details today. I didn't want to make it a subject. Yeah, okay. Explain quickly. Then I
yes, please. Let me. Yes, I will close it to this. Within the party, I've heard discussions from those that are supporting my colleagues to say, no, you can't participate because there is this barrier that is pending. And I'm thinking, okay, but everyone else is participating and we haven't buried. They form part of the ECL family. They form part of the Patriotic Front family. So what is good for the goose is certainly good for the gander. And in this particular case, we are not participating in the political process for purposes of disrespecting ECL. We are participating in this political process for purposes of honoring ECL, considering what he died for. He died so that we may restore democracy. He died so that we may restore the rule of law. He died so that we may restore the respect for institutions of governance. He died so that we may restore the issues of human rights. And that is what he said when he was coming back into politics. And we can't necessarily wait to bury for these things to be restored. If they are restored before you even bury, even better. He would be smiling down on all of us up in heaven because his wishes will have been honored. And no one is precluded from doing this noble cause of bringing these things back to Zambia. Whether in mourning or not, we all have a duty to ensure that we live in a better country. You can't restrict anyone from improving their environment only on the basis that they are mourning. We all have a duty. The whole Zambia is mourning. Even as we are in mourning, do we want to continue on this trajectory where the right to speak is being stifled? Do we want to live on this trajectory when the cost of living is high? Do we want to continue on this trajectory and say we will only deal with issues of bread and butter for the Zambian people? We'll only deal with issues of development for the Zambian people after we bury? I think not. We are better than that, and we can argue better than that. But that debate has been by reason of slander. My father once told me this. He says, slander is a tool for fools. That is to say, where a person loses an argument, they'll resort to slander. They'll resort to insults. and they will not be addressing an issue for what it is. For the merits or demerits of an issue, they will lead to slander. I've been nicknamed Malukula, International Malukula. And there's something it's something that we've been laughing. It's something that we've been laughing about.
Yeah. The state of the Patriotic Front is worrying, and I like the call by Professor Nkanduluo, who has called for unity, because we've already seen ugly social media fights between your supporters of Brian Mundwile, supporters of Mao Sampa, supporters of Emmanuel Mwamba, supporters of whoever. And I think I decided, I paid attention to what our senior leader, Professor Nkanduluo, stated, where she's called for unity, where she's called that you are all children of the Patriotic Front. You are children of Michael Sata. You are children of Edgar Lungu. Why should there be this animosity because there is a contest? When you answer that, I want us to define just the issues around the PF. You have rightly stated that the late president was enjoying retirement, security, benefits from the state, accommodation from the state. And there are many things he was entitled to, although he was not given. But he abandoned that process when the PF was stolen, to come and reclaim the PF, to come and restore democracy, to come and restore the character of multi-party nature of our country. It was a sacrificial cause, because he could have stayed and laid back and would have had none of this humiliation, harassment, and persecution that he went through. Clearly, the call to restore the PF and to restore democracy is a call for the PF, I think, as a political wish of the late president. Where are we with the issue of the PF? Do you have a vision of how we can reclaim it? Some people were saying we should open talks with President Hakainde Hichilema because he's literally the PF president, because he controls Chabinga. Others were saying, why don't we speak to Chabinga? Others are saying we continue to rely on the courts of law. What are your thoughts? First, message of unity to your colleagues that are your that are your fellow competitors, and then this acrimony that has emerged with supporters. Some supporters, they support this one and they're insulting the other. What do you say to those key issues?
I have gotten to learn that times what happens in an organization, a reflection of what is happening in the country. The level of vision that we're experiencing in the party goes even beyond the party. There's division in the country that needs to be fixed. We are not united as a country. But perhaps let me start by dealing with the issues of the party. The call to unity is one that is intended to serve the cause for the Zambians, because Zambians are looking for a leadership that is united. Zambians are not looking for leadership or leaders who are selfish, who think it can only be me to take this step, it can only be no one else. We subject ourselves to this process of leadership or choosing a leader. And this process is not, cannot be interpreted to mean that we are divided. But the issue is, what is it that is dividing us? I will tell you this. PF as a party, as a constituents of people, is not divided. There are certain rogue elements within the party that have hijacked the party, asserted themselves to lead the party in a manner that is currently being contested. It is for that reason that when this matter came up in the last sitting, we argued before the court to say, the person who held this convention says he had no authority to hold the convention. And therefore, everything that he did is a nullity, and the party should be taken back to its original position. Unfortunately, the court disagreed with that particular position as a preliminary issue and said the matter will go all out through trial. The indications are that we're going to have the trial in the next 2 days. And we hope and pray that as the evidence is going to be presented before the court, because this is a matter that perhaps some issues have already been established by way of admission as to what exactly happened, what exactly could have been done, that was not done. That has already been established. So we anticipate that it should not necessarily take long. Evidence should be presented. Those that are defending the matter should be able to defend the matter, and we should have a decision that is going to determine whether or not the conference of the 24th of October 2023 amounted to a convention. That is the only question that has to be, the threshold issue that has to be dealt with. That was a threshold issue that we thought the court could determine as a preliminary stage, but the court has decided that this will go through a full trial. And obviously, in a quest to get back the party, we are doing everything possible to ensure that the party is gotten back. Now, the effect that this had is that it affects the democracy of the nation, especially when the state are an accomplice to what exactly is going on. You are aware that the Registrar of Societies, Madam Mende, has been on suspension because of the issue of the Patriotic Front Party. She refused to do what was wrong. She refused to change the office bearers on the Patriotic Front Party, on the reason, or based on the reason that the constitution that we submitted to the Registrar of Societies was not followed. What happened? She was charged by the now Permanent Secretary Matambo, charged, and she has been put on suspension. She's at home, replaced, and the person who took over that position quickly changed the office bearers, leading to what we are in. Now, this participation by the executive in the internal affairs of the Patriotic Front Party for purposes of destabilizing the party has far-reaching consequences. It destabilizes the democratic credentials that we have as a country. It stifles the freedom of association that ordinarily Zambians should have, people should have. But what has been proved so far as regards the Patriotic Front Party is that the Patriotic Front Party is beyond a piece of paper. The Patriotic Front Party is a movement of people who believe in an ideology that Zambia can be better. We had an opportunity to rule. We may have made our mistakes. We may have conducted ourselves in a manner that Zambians did not like, and they chose an option that is there. But to take away the possibility of Zambians continuing to have options for purposes of perpetuating one stay in power is in itself immoral. The participation by the state in making sure that illegally so, the Patriotic Front Party's names are changed, even when the Registrar of Societies was of the view that it was not right to do so. It was inconsistent with the party constitution to impose one's will, one's decision over a person who is by law given the power to make that decision is in itself wrong and shouldn't be tolerated. We are a people that should be governed by laws and not the whims and caprices of men. We are where we are as a party because of the whims and caprices of those that are ruling. Particularly, and participating in this, is the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Matambo. That should not be the case. And that in itself should make one rethink how they are conducting themselves in public offices. And that is why in this renewed call to have this national dialogue, renewed call to participate in this in the democratic dispensation of this country, is so that you have the offices of the ombudsman, the office of the ombudsman to be activated. They need to start working. They need to be empowered enough to be able to look into the conduct of the officers in government. This government is reluctant to operationalize that office to its fullest extent because they know they will be held accountable. And now this new move is that let have active the office of the ombudsman. Let us have systems that are going to report to a higher body and not to individuals. Let us have systems that will report to the people, of course through their representatives to parliament. We need those reforms. It is time for reforms. And our argument now as we are coming into government is that we want reforms in the judiciary. We want reforms in the executive. We want reforms in the legislature. We want reforms in the civil service that will respond to the aspirations of the people, that will give confidence to the people that these institutions are serving their interests. When the institutions start serving the interests of the people, people begin to buy into what government intends to do, and they participate fully into what government intends to do. They do not think that persons that are in government are only there to take away resources and enrich themselves. They begin to look at it as a collective decision that is being made. So when you ask about the Patriotic Front Party and the issues of divisions that are there and the issues of what is going on there, it is the participation of the state that is giving an impression that we cannot recover from these divisions. But as a party, we are united. We are only thinking, okay, who will best lead us? And the idea of leading is part of democracy. It's a good fight. It's a good competition. But the idea of using persons in a political party for purposes of subverting the course of this country's democracy is in itself wrong and should not be tolerated. PF is not the only party that has suffered this. We had the Democratic, DP, where Harry Kalaba was president. We are seeing attempts that are similarly being made on the Socialist Party, and that should not be the case. That should not be the case. So going forward, what does this call for? It calls for unity amongst the opposition political parties. We can't disappoint the Zambian people by pushing selfish interests. Sometimes, even when it's very clear that one party cannot make it on its own. When it's very clear that if we stand on our own, we will not be able to correct the wrongs that are being done. We will not be able to respond to the aspirations of the people. Yet, we go ahead and choose to be on our own. The call for unity is what President Edgar Chagwa Lungu hoped for when UCA was created. It is what he hoped for when Tonse Alliance was created. And that hope should not die. That hope must continue. We must all come together. This alliance that will have the interests of Zambians first. That will put the interests of Zambians first. We need to do that as soon as yesterday. It's something that we should have done. And it's something, this is a path that we should be walking. And this is a call to all the leadership in the opposition to say, let us come together. Let us fix this thing. When we fix this thing, we'll also be able to fix the divisions that are happening at national level. This regionalism that is being perpetuated at national level, we will be able to heal that when we learn to come together, even as small units such as political parties. When we heal ourselves as political parties, we'll be able to heal ourselves as a nation. And that is what we should be going for. That is what we should be discussing. Those are the conversations that we have been having, even in these consultations that we've had in the last few days or couple of weeks, that leading to my declaration of interest in participating in the political process of our party. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. We saw the president, and he was on the Copper Belt. We saw what happened, I think, demonstrated disaffection that is going in the country. Our people do not believe that this could happen. A president who has transported his own supporters to be booed, stoned, chased, property damaged, a car for the police damaged, tents, public toilets, mobile public toilets that were hired, destroyed. Of course, President Hakainde Hichilema appears to live in a utopia that everything is okay. He believes that he's growing the economy. He believes that he has put the country on the path to recovery. He claims he has resolved the debt restructuring process. He believes that he has stabilized the country and he has brought peace, as they always remind us, as if we were at war. But the events on the Copper Belt seems to be a genuine reflection of the disaffection in the country. Is that your reading? Is a president living in another country? In fact, he accuses us of not living in this country because we refuse to acknowledge the so-called successes that he has made.
I'm of the view that we have a government that constantly feels as if it's in competition with the Zambian people and wants to win at every stage. You can tell by how they've handled the issues of Bill 7, where when Zambians speak and say this can't be, they only withdraw to reintroduce. And when they reintroduce, it's still the same thing, because at that particular time, this government feels it has lost and wants to win at all costs. When Zambian people speak, they speak because that is not what they desire. These are people that you have chosen to govern, and they are the ones that have the right to choose how they should be governed. You do not have the monopoly of wisdom as to how you should govern the Zambians. So you have that issue of Bill 7. People say they don't want it, you bring it back. The court says that it's unconstitutional, you bring it back. People complain about the Cyber Security Act, you still go ahead anyways. People complain about this indigenous seed issue, and you go ahead and bring it up. People complain about the CCTV bill, you still push all the way. People complain about the cost of living, and you tell the people, where do you live? Which country do you live in? So it's like it's a competition between the citizens and the government. People complain that Kafue River is polluted, fish is dying, the water is no longer safe for people to drink. What does the government do? They go ahead and try to defend that particular position. And now with the issue of what happened on the Copper Belt, I must state right from the outset that what happened ought not to have happened. What happened should be condemned. But what is much more disappointing is the response by the government. I'm now convinced that when I read the Facebook page of the president, those are not his thoughts. That is a PR stunt. Because his Facebook post, he acknowledges that the issues of mining, the issues of Senseli, are issues that were nagging, and are issues that they would respond to lawfully. But when he's addressing the public, he shifts and says, no, this issue, we said, I remember I told you not to beat anyone, and this time, vaya sana. Is that an appropriate response by a president? I expected the president to say, listen, over the issues of Senseli, over the issues of, is it T3 or G4, I have heard you, and we will look into it and respond to the needs of the people. If the people of Chingola are saying, listen, it is not just about the market, our source of livelihood has been taken away. What is government doing to address that source of livelihood? Your response should not be the response should not be for ministers, party officials to issue threats to the people that are there. Of course, what happened is an illegality, and it should be dealt with within the legal framework that we have. We can't have a party that responds to say, oh, we are coming to beat you. We will bring truckloads in Chingola to come and beat you. You can't sort out an illegality by another illegality. It is for that reason that we're saying, how can we restore the rule of law? If a person commits an offense, subject them to the process of the law. Don't threaten them with an illegality. And what is worse is that that threat is coming from the president. That threat should not come from the president, and that threat should not come at all. It should be an investigative process. An investigative process as to who did what. If at all they are found or suspected to have done that, and there's evidence that suggests that they did so, subject them to a court process. Let the court process deal with this. Don't have a cadre or a minister or any member of the party respond by saying, we will come and beat you. Don't respond as a president and say, oh, you members of my party, remember I stopped you from beating anyone, as though they were authorized by any law to do so, and as though it is by your kind gesture that they are not doing it. They are not doing it because it's illegal to do so. You stop them not because you are kind, but because it is illegal to do so. And to stop them now, to talk to them and tell them, remember I stopped you, but nomba vaya sana. You are trying to suggest that whether they act violently or not is dependent on what you tell them. And that is not a mark of leadership. The mark of leadership is to restrain your members as much as possible and make sure that they abide by the rule of law. They abide by the laws that this country has put in place to safeguard its peace, to safeguard the law and order in public places. We have sufficient laws to deal with that. We don't need to resort to promoting violence. We don't need to resort to extrajudicial measures for purposes of curbing what may have been an embarrassment. Of course, it was a very big embarrassment. Of course, we wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, because the last time something similar to that happened was in the time of Kaunda, when he went to the stadium and people threw oranges at him, and it has happened again. That should be a point of awakening. Are we responding to the needs of the people? Are we responding to the desires of the people? And that is the conversation that the government should be having. What are our policy issues when it comes to beneficiation of the resources that we have in areas where those resources are situated? How are the communities living in those particular places? How are we responding to their needs? Are we creating employment? Are we taking it away? Are we restricting the beneficiation of resources to a small clique of people or a section of people, or to cadres only who are able to access that resource for their own benefit, and leaving out those communities that are around those resources? Those are serious conversations that we should be having now. Those are serious conversations that should build our country, to say, how do we respond to Zambians? How do we feed Zambians? How do we make sure that they have means for survival wherever they may be? How do we make use of the resource that we have to distribute it evenly, equitably throughout the country, for people to feel that their life has improved? You can't show up on TV and say, those that are saying that the cost of living has not improved, those that are saying that things are 1, are not thinking at all. Where do you live? People live in Zambia. When they compete, it's not competition against you as government. It is a call for you to do something about it, because they've given you the mandate to act, and act in a manner that responds to their needs. That is what I would say as regards that issue.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, it's your time to participate in this debate. We are hosting former minister, provincial minister of Eastern Province, former Malambo MP, and renowned Lusaka lawyer, Makebi Zulu. The country has seen him from even his youthful days, where people like President Rupia Banda trusted him to be, his lawyer. When I remember the cases of Rupia Banda, that was 2012. Makebi Zulu still looks youthful. How old were you then? I can imagine 10 years ago. So, dear viewers, we are hosting Makebi Zulu. He's just declared his interest to stand as PF presidential candidate. We are here to take your calls.
One second to Kai. In your mind, I bet Sabana will be there for Queen, meaning I bet Sapuli Mue. Muleva Cheche for Valelanda. Ushevalelanda, Amashui Yakula, Languvalelanda Mashui Yakub Naula. Pantu, Ukutam Pamuliva Kaunda, he always preached unity. He always preached Ukukula na.
Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu! Damn quiet. But don't you know? Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu! Makebi Zulu!
We seem to have our first caller. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Member.
Good evening.
Good evening, the incoming President MZ. Good evening.
He can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Gracie, known as Banangoma, calling you in Lusaka.
Banangona, please make your contributions.
Banangoma.
Banangoma, Kambamponi.
Bamakebi Zulu mwenze kuti tawi yonse. Ababemba balanda ati amano ifwesa yaya muchulu. You are articulating issues. I don't know what I can say. Bamakebi Zulu, we are behind you. You listen what we are trying as Zambians. How we are in a crisis situation right now, as I can be talking this evening. In Salah, load shedding, prolonged load shedding. Abantu abawama welding vazasebenza bwanji na load shedding iliko. Na manager kuti malaiti kapo yaona. Njala, hunga ni wodula. My farmers, my mom, she has never gotten the money. Nirisi amene wana supplier. Kaya kwa mene tizapulumukila. Aichi chalo cheve mwandi kankalidwe katikanga. Makebi Zulu, we are behind you. And we will give you support. Apa peve chalo ni chochinja. Ngati pari amene chimalengesa kuti tinchinje government. Ninjala na muli chiruva mwamene tinachoselapo wakaunda. Ni chifukwa cha unga. Na njala na maskuzi. Ndiye hivi vichitika manje. Vachilamu ati vokude wapasa wana kumaskuzi. Wana waende wapasa masoya pieces. Na beans vadwala madairia. Awe, ichichalo cheve chatikanga. Ndipo ndiye pamene naona hapo ineni na bado ma 1960 chakuti. Naona hapo government monga amene iya wa UPND yotinzunza. Yo kambati kulibe makadazi bali mbwerekete. Yo kambati Stephen na thugs, there are so many thugs, junks vana vasanduka manje niwa kuti sungaende usiku. So vamene tikamba Makebi Zulu mwamene mwakambila. Kambisa nani bwino. If aliyeza as a winner chabe convention. ife tiyenda naye. Mazambians vakamba kudala vanapanga kari kudala decision kuti ife iyi government yava UPND pakira chabe tiichosapo. Kozi yatiletera njala, yatiletera mavuto, yatiletera ukawalala, vana vasanduka vazimai vasanduka ni vansunko, chalo chaonongeka. So Makebi Zulu imwe. Don't get intimidated by vamene vazamba kuti akamba toso. Us Zambians, we have changed, we have made up our minds. Ife vazimai tilila, tikamba na kukamba kuti ichitenge ni kuntanshi, kukakila kunuma, 2026, hakuna kulala. Tizakagadinga mavotsi yatu, apa peve, tinyamuka vazimai na mayouths. Chamene tifuna tichosepo government ya wakainde, yativutisa, yatiletera njala yakuti stingakambe maso ya pieces yankale nyama. Tikazipimisa tu salad twamene venzoenda nato ati tifuna salad yopimisa isile, but lero ndiye iliko. Tifuna kasi ya wamapo na ija government yenzeko ya PF olo tenzo lipira 700 kuma schools. Ndrama tenzo ziona. Noti aba bantu bamanga ndrama, babisa ndrama, sitiziva na vochita. Makebi Zulu, we are behind you. You are our Moses. You are the person who is going to rise up us from this situation which we are in for now. We are struggling as Zambians. We have already made our minds.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Let's just take some more calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Kapia.
Yes, Mr. Kapia, make your contributions.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, President Makebi Zulu.
He can hear you, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. We are seeing what is happening, and just for the fact that President Makebi Zulu is being attacked by some people, whatever, this shows that he's the right candidate for the opposition. I think everybody around the country should now sit down and assess these people nicely. We need to know, why is it that Makebi Zulu is being attacked by both? Some of them are opposition and the ruling party. They are attacking Makebi Zulu. Why is it that way? So I think the right candidate as at now, when we look at it, is only Makebi Zulu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's try to get as many calls as possible. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, Charles Mbewe, Mr. Fresh on the line. How are you, Honorable Mwamba?
Yes, Mr.
And
Mr. Fresh, please make your contributions.
Thank you so much. And good evening, our incoming President, Honorable Makebi Zulu. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mwamba. And we thank Zambians who are following. First thing, I think let me pick about the issues that Zambians are still talking for your coming on board to, you know, to President I remember there's a clip that he mentioned to say, a lead, if you are being stoned and being booed, okay, then you as a leader, you have failed. This man was stoned recently in Chingola. For me, it's a sign that the man has completely failed. According to his words, this man was an...
Oh, we seem to have lost that caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Mom.
Good evening.
This is Kabongo from DRC across.
Yes. Bakashobwe, how are you?
I'm doing well, Honorable Mwamba.
Kashobwe is a town on Luapula River, just across the Luapula River. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm so happy that I've managed to catch up with Honorable Makebi Zulu today. And I think, first of all, the first thing that I really wanted to tell him is he shouldn't be intimidated. I've seen a lot of people intimidating him. But when he comes back to Kamikata, Kaya Kuchifungo, what have you, I remember how he responded. He said, we are coming back to Zambia and we are citizens and we have not committed any crime. I was very, very, very happy with that. Honorable Makebi Zulu, me, I'm not asking you a question. I just want you to promise me as a Zambian citizen who's in diaspora, Congo DRC, who can't even come back home. I want you to promise me that when you come into power, you are going to restore the judiciary system of Zambia. You are going to decentralize the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And Mwala Puishen Sala. Because from my own understanding, if you have got a broken judiciary system, the law will be broken itself. Even the economy that we are crying for cannot be built. If I don't even think myself I have a lot of trust in the judiciary of Zambia. And one more thing before I forget. I want you to promise me as a Zambian citizen, Honorable Makebi Zulu, that when you come, this tribal issue and tribal line will come to end. We will become one Zambia, one nation. The real one Zambia, one nation. I'm sorry to take a lot of time, but I will just take you back a little bit. I'm able to speak a lot of languages.
Bakashokwe. Yo, na mwana mafoni yonse alelila. Conclude. Sondweleleni.
Ukukunuma bakaunda bareposta abantu. Ni teacher bamuposta bamufunya ku Southern Province bamutwala ku Chipiri. Ngachita retire afa yempanga ambo kulaikala ku Chipiri. Abana babo balya twaupamo. Makebi Zulu tulefu amuweshe chalo ko chali. Icha lasti. Ndefwa ya Makebi Zulu nga mwakwate nshita. Wafindire bali twala uli ati fimbo poke kukoti. Ndefwa mutwale oyo ati chife media kukoti. Pantu ubu fiachita ngabuka ati yo mlepo nafe mundekati nimomwa atumina abantu wakwe alasama wewa president. Emo mlengere wa president wa firwe yo. Na totera na puisha mkwai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The calls are so many. Try to be brief. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Lusaka. My name is Carlos Mwansa.
Carlos Mwansa, make your contributions.
I've been following your discourse, and it has been very, 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 very helpful with what is going on in this country. Honorable Makebi touched on a very important issue that has always been touching my heart, the reforms in the judiciary, executive, legislature, the civil servants. Because I've observed that the way politicians handle some of these matters when it comes to defend the Constitution, it has been horrible. So my question to Honorable Makebi Zulu, what makes politicians not to defend the Constitution, but to rep the Constitution without impunity? Or how the reforms are going to help us that politicians can respect the rule of law? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Huh?
Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Please proceed to make your contribution. Introduce yourself and proceed to make your contributions.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening, President Makebi. This is Zephania calling from Lusaka, Zambia. I have a question. Today, you officially expressed your interest to contest the PF presidency. What does this moment symbolize for you personally? And what message do you take from the huge crowd that turned out in massive numbers to support your candidature? Then the other one, which I want just to, the last one is that which constitution does our president use that after losing elections, the opposition should be naired? Because they said the opposition are going to be naired, and the people who were organizing those people who booed him. Because that statement from the president, it has brought a lot of Zambians to fear, because the president is the chief commander. And if he speaks like that, meaning is now, whatever the president speaks is policy. And I remember, again in the Copper Belt, the president, he said, we are going to start Mingalato. And we saw how Patriotic Front was lost. And we saw how President Edgar Lungu, may he so rest in peace, was insulted left, right, and center. What is your take with what the president has said? And is our country safe in the hands of President Hakainde Hichilema? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Angela calling from Garden, Chilolo.
Kwaibana Angela.
Mulifia Wino.
Endita. Landen Mayo.
Makebi Zulu.
Mayo, Landen. We have so many calls. Landen Mayo.
Echo ntemweneko kuli mweba PF laimako. Efyo ndela ndakainati. Efyo ntemweneko ifimulesi time interview ba Makebi Zulu efyo balelanda fishinka. Bandu ngamwa amona ma problems tamo tulopitamo from Zambian yenge mu blackout. Mwamona ichalo chilifye mumbi. Efimule mona abantu da amafurano ko barepita ba echechi bata aishasanza kwa tukese nje obuteko tubikepo abantu abakatubombera according to the term of Zambian, not if you feel Kolandako. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello. Honorable Mamba.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I think my network here at Kononio Vuta Zambia, we are going through load shedding. Mr. Fresh again.
Yes.
Yes, please. So, I was saying, the man advocated for all these ill things that are happening today, and he should not try to threaten the people that he was pushing to know the things that are happening today. So, as I conclude and as I'm pushing for the agenda of Honorable Makebi Zulu, our incoming president, Honorable Makebi Zulu, we are praying for you. Want God to protect you, and the wisdom that you have, let God add more wisdom, because Zambian people are waiting for you to come and do the best for this land which has already been destroyed. And the only hope from the youth and the old people depends on you, Honorable Makebi Zulu. I was just meeting some people in Jalala today after your filing in nomination today. People are asking to say, why can't we, the PF, come together and support you? Because the public is looking for you to be the leader of this land. Let these leaders remove the issues of jealousy, okay? And let's push the agenda of one common goal, to remove this government that has destroyed our language, our tribes, destroyed even things that were not necessary. Today we are talking about tribalism. So please, Honorable Makebi Zulu, we are praying for you. Come on board as you have already come. And the Zambian people are waiting for you to do the best. As we go to the PF convention, my prayer is that those that have no follower, please, let's support Honorable Makebi Zulu to the core.
Okay, thank you very much. Callers, quickly call so that then we can allow Honorable Makebi Zulu to respond. Let Let me just take some more calls. Callers, please call so that we take the calls and allow Makebi Zulu to answer. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yes, good evening, Ambassador.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ambassador. This
Good
is
evening.
the
Make your
CDE
contribution.
Cleopas so.
Yes.
Yes. My contribution is that I love the democracy that is within the Patriotic Front, and I would also want to encourage the incoming president, Makebi Zulu, to go flat out and to reach out even to other districts and provinces, not only Lusaka province. Then the other thing is that the previous had cadres on the street, but these ones have cadres in the institutions. So restoring the independence of the institution, like what MZD is talking about, that's the way to go to liberate this country from nepotism, tribalism, and injustice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller.
Hello, Makebi. Mwabombeni mkwai.
Endita.
Mlishani uko.
Yole Salet Sunga, make your contributions, please.
Takoterani mama manyirenda bano wale tubina kusuva resti.
Mkwai mayo.
Bama turefu wao kumitoteri. Mkwai turefu wao kutotera ba Makebi Zulu. Please tuwapapata. Iseni mukutulubula. Na tuchula. Aba ero bali mu opposition balenda no tubunga mumukoshi. Twali tumanyi kresi. Tusoya chansi. Tukapenta tulio twalula. Balela ndoko batilungu nafiru okubomba. That's why ifwe ngatwaisa mukala 3 times. Efe tulefiru okudya. Tubunga twabale pimisha tulio eto balenda natwena tuletwa 1 kwacha tulya. Eto tulefiru okushitanomba pali 10 kwacha. Aba bayishire n'obufi mu government yabo eyi. So tulelomba please twapapata ikataneni. Ifo pano pa ground na tuikatana. Na tuishwa kwa bafenga twasenda fetizona wa Makebi mwapita. Twaishwa na huku shatu wao tuwapusuka. Na tulefu kama please twapapata. Uyosha bingo yo. Tulefu afya bweshewe isipani muminwe yaba PF. Umulandu wa kwebati. Ubu fiebo batu wepeleba UPND na buchiramo. So tulefu wa kumtotela ba Makebi pa de alero na chiwa secretariat kulala ningu fobwino. Na kulala na lala buno pandi ni mwana na tulubuka mubusha. Mukulala ensala. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Make your contributions. Tell us your name and tell us your contribution. Yes, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, this is Charles. This is Charles from here in the USA.
Oh, Charles. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
My first question to Makebi is he going to accept the defeat if he's defeated because he's not the only candidate? 2, why are they not engaging Hichilema? They're supposed to be having a dialogue and tell him in his face, because this guy, I don't think he understands the rule of law, and I don't think he understands power. All he wants is whatever he wants is only power. So why don't you engage him? You as political parties, have a dialogue and tell him in his face, we are not going to accept whatever you are doing. I think that would be one way, of sending a message to him. And 2, why are you wasting time? Please don't waste time. There is no time. There is absolutely no time. Some of those things you are talking about, yes, they are important, but they will come after we have grabbed, the power from this guy. That's what Those are the two questions I wanted to ask.
Thank you, Charles. Charles from Orlando, Florida, in the United States. Thank you, Charles. All the phones are buzzing. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening.
Good evening. Kindly make your contributions.
Thank you. This is Cynthia.
Yes, Cynthia, make your contributions.
Makebi Zulu, I'm happy so much. I'm behind you as youth. We support you and we are loving you, and we continue supporting you until the day you are going to be immigrated and voted as the president of Zambia. Makebi Zulu, let God continue to bless you. We are looking for the future of the youths. We are looking for our fellow youths like you, Makebi Zulu. We know that you are not going to let us as youths down. We know that Zambia, we are now in a crisis, but since now you are going to become our president, Makebi Zulu. Thank you so much. I'm happy for you. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. You are on. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay. Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Nego mlenga ku England.
Oba mlenga emkwai balishani.
Weno sana katusinga wa mwalinda shana mwevo.
Endita. Kindly make your contributions.
Happiness towards what I'm saying, Kuriba PF, no matter how much these people have tried to disturb and disband the party, they have stood firm. And the coming of Honorable Makebi Zulu on the scene, I think we have seen from many people their comments and everything. It's a welcome move. What I would just want to call upon all these candidates is just the unity of purpose. The biggest enemy is known. What they are fighting for is known. So the issue of maligning each other, shooting each other here and there, it should not be the case. Everyone should be speaking one language of love.
Thank you. Let's take another call. Sorry, that call keeps on cutting. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Concerned citizen.
Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Concerned citizen.
Or concerned citizen, make your contributions.
Yes, I really want to thank Honorable Makebi for coming forward. Mine is not a question, but it really is an encouragement. I agree 100% with the sentiments regarding the government and their response to disgruntled youth. It is not honorable, it is not right that the government would make promises coming into power that they were not willing to fulfill. I think that we're ready for reforms, and I absolutely pray God's grace, God's mercy, and his power over you. And I trust the nation of Zambia, and I thank God for the democracy that PF has shown and demonstrated. This must not be underplayed. We are thankful for your efforts and your tireless sacrifices. We're not going to accept the false narrative that you had anything to do with the holding of the body, and we refuse to accept that. We thank God for you once again, and we wish you Godspeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Bashmalan Landenipo.
Mkwaba Makebi Zulu munishani.
Landeni ama landeni bale umfwa.
Makebi Zulu muri amanu. Abena Zambia wonsi bale mono kwebati yentunguru kushi ingalu kule chalo. E44
doa shipefi era bukateko mulando wake bati mwalisungire abafyashi besu wa former president wa Edgar Lungu mwabasunga mu afu ilamo wachi kuku yocho wasunga nokusunga abantu iwe walimone kokwe bagwe bati uyu muntu uyu ngatwamupere shalo at least kucha wamya walikwatwa mutima w'abantu walikwatwa mutima wa chikuku mutamano wako mono kwe bati busho omuntu alaika shani ino stabe na Zambia balechula mu buteko bwa UPND so abena Zambia balefwayo omuntu wako mono kwe bati muntu ushunga tege shalo ero bamona ati Makebi Zulu muntu w'abantu alikwatwa oluse alikwata ekikuku alikwata amano kuti atungula abantu munene ifintu mutengo balirunda ba UPND fyonse po bayishira abena Zambia balechula kalubulo balefwaya lero ine mukumona kwandi nimbono kweba chiwo Makebi Zulu walinga bantu uli waluse lesale kupala we mwana iwe zikomo.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
You're speaking to Blaze Zambia, Ambassador, and good evening, Honorable Makebi Zulu, the incoming 8th President of the Republic of Zambia.
Oh, Blaze, Blaze, thank you very much. I've made your song as my national anthem here. It's just part of the program, and you know, I never sought your permission. I never sought anything. I've never rewarded you. I'm so grateful for your song, Blaze. Thank you very much. You communicate to the young people. Thank you, Blaze.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. I'm really, really humbled to be part of the team that is going to liberate Zambia. And I'm looking forward to working with the great leader, the President Makebi Zulu, the incoming president. And I would like to just say to the nation that we have a president who is a dictator right now, and we need to look into the matter. We take him out because this is a president that has never failed for the people. It doesn't mean well for Mother Zambia. Look at what has happened in our country, the abductions, the injustices, and we want Kalubula. When the former Republican President Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu left, that wasn't a coincidence. God sent him to come and announce to the nation and the world at large, to tell the people, to say there was a plan B that was in motion, and this is the plan B that has come. Honorable Makebi Zulu has come just at the right time. Despite us having our former Republican president, who is Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, in the morgue, South Africa, I'm saying, bali bakakila muri iliamogu kuri ba current government, and that is Hakainde Hichilema, who has been doing all these mingalatos. I would like to urge each and every Zambian, every meaningful Zambian, by youth, I'm saying, I'm a young man here, and I'm saying it's the right time for Mr. Makebi Zulu to take charge as the incoming president of this lovely nation. I thank you, Ambassador, and I'm really, really humbled to be on the program tonight.
Thank you for the powerful song, Blaze. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Looking forward to coming on the program because right now, as I speak to you, I'm actually in Jupiter. I call it Jupiter because they have been looking for me. They are kill me, and that is the UPND UPND members. They have been looking for me for some time now. I've been in the exile for more than 7 months now. And they go door
you are
to door.
available on the program. You know what you do is, let's have a discussion after this, and let's come and discuss your case. That is unfortunate.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. I'm listening, and I'm just happy to see the president coming through, and that is Mr. Makebi Zulu. I'm really, really humbled. I'm happy.
Thank you, Blaze.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwaiwa Munkonge. London po ba Munkonge.
Mkwai sharande sana chakubalira pofie. Nde totela leso mukuru wa makayonse pantu insta yako yali yalinga ngefe yali yasuka yafika insta yali shibikwe. Echo wa Makebi lesare konkanyapo ukubapera mano pantu mulimo babomba mulimo ukalamba sana lero abantu abashikweto kwiruka. Teti beshiwe po filifionse po fenga bakupela ukuwanga spokesperson pachirilo fe pabushikuwa one day bambi barafira n'okuchita contain barapanga amafawo ayengisana lero bamakebi baliwura bomuntu nse bwabo babika aside n'amathoughts yabo bayabika aside bafwala ifyo olupwa lulefwaya tebabura amasambiriro yabo kwe bati bakontero lyolupwa nangwa amano yabo bakonterero olupwa basabula akanwa ka lupwa kaisa pali bene ekyo ekintu kyanguka pantu bambira nkuba tumafe pali 3 minutes ati kabiyora ndevi pali 3 minutes barara ndevi akusanako so lesa aleba emipara bamakebi Zulu lero lekeni mbike pona abantu nabambi bonara mitasha pamona wo namba 1 ni bamwamba na imwe lesa emipara mwalire ngokwe batiro mutendo tukwete na PF ya Afrika na imwe mwalikuwa tomulimo ukalamba pantu pali platform yenu ngani bambi abo twaishiba nga barayi campaign na bene lyonse lero mwalisendalo as a public secretary muri okutali but muleranda kukondenkanya ekironganiro pamo okwisabika pona barubinda mwali basha mu office kali bene bari mu office kulya na bene barubinda lesa akonkanyepo uwino obutunguru shimwa ba connect na mipenda abantu abalifo imwe bamwamba bamakebi Zulu kwimirira kuchiriro kulya imwe bamwamba as a public secretary okwisabika po barubinda nga office ya paraba chabinga bateberera lesa na bene ale bakonkanya poro naba nensu oyumbi muneso batwara mu kifungo na mipenda abantu abalifo ayo lesa amano ale mipera mule yabo mfyafe bwino sana mwira konkerera abantu fe balera ndero nabo bambi abantu obotule muno kwebati kuti baba ba Judas Iscariot mkwai tule barombera ko kuri lesa Judas Iscariot bafunye pa mubiri wabo bakonke fe constitution ya PF n'ekishali cha PF ubwanani na pantu bambi tule bamona tekiturande pantu amashu twingalanda kuti apange fironda lero tule bakoseresha uko kuntu barefo okurora takuri bwino awe ile tukenye ntungurushi makebi Zulu na ngubambi wonse tuko kondenkanya tukarangia bena Zambia ifyo wina Zambia bwaba pantu PF wina Zambia te PF ya muntu na abantu bo bambya wabo mfama shiwi aya bipali ba makebi Zulu mwe bantu ndemirombako mu Zambia mwali ba abantu ababi bonga mwali mfako abantu barabashitisha abantu umuntu bamushitisha bamwipa bamumomo baba mu Zambia mureba keyafu mwira kitafenga mwamfafe ama propaganda na imwe mwabiringa na rero chimbi chikoseresha kuri bamaye baliriye ni mutambo ifofo twamishiba na ama message mulemba pa social media tachiwama tetute mutu amibika pali ba ngachire kisungu charandiro munenso ati tenti cannot be a saka maybe turembika ni mwa ba tenti kanshi temu ba tenti aho techi chiwame ibeni ko fyabashi papa ntumwali kwata ma followers abengi pali no statufikire kuntanshu kukutumwa kwata kona mu butungurushi so sareni ofye muri so sefire ya kuchalo mura konkerera abantu botamulingerera bena amarevozi murei mwararenga abantu aba michinjika bamisuliramo sentu bombere pamunga bena Zambia tufunye cyaro cyesomo kibere tupepere ko nabaneso bamakebi Zulu utungurushi twari bumwana ture bumwana nefire kitika kusa Afrika ngate kwata amano ya utungurushi mu Zambia ngani fimbi fya kitika na family yaba yashikuli yaba wido ino istari mbi firamba fyabo nga fyali turetera na mafia mu cyaro cyeso nombe firamba fyabo fyali be fyatarari kwa umurando wakwebati ba PF kupitira kuri bamakebi Zulu ukubika po bamwamba kubika po na barubinga nabana kachinda bali mu kifungo balenga ruroro po firamba vya kitashani fyapona pantu fire firamba nga firelira lyonse nishi firelira pacharo pantu lyo muntu alitekere kubusuma na totera mu kwa bamwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
You are speaking to Siame calling from Zambia.
Mr. Siame, make your contributions.
Thank you so much. Good evening to the incoming president, Honorable Makebi Zulu. First of all, I want to appreciate you, Mr. Mwamba, for the good work you are doing and the service you are rendering to the country at large. And one thing I want to say is that when a country has laws that are trying to silence people, people will find a way of speaking out when things are not going well. Okay? We said that don't bring the cyber law in this country. But they went ahead and brought the cyber law. What has it done to the people of Zambia? It has silenced a lot of Zambians who can come stand up and speak for the things which are not going well in this country. But look what happened in Chingola there. That is the sign of that when you allow people not to speak, they will find other means to channel the strong information to you that this is not the correct thing you are doing. This is why we saw what happened in Chingola. And number two, Honorable Makebi Zulu, the president, what are your plans to end load shedding in this country? I know that the Patriotic Front had underlined a lot of programs in which some of them they even managed to bring from 1,600 megawatts somewhere there to 3,000 plus megawatts, which means that they started something, they did something to end load shedding. But this time around, looking at the population and the houses which have been built in this country because of the good policies which the Patriotic Front left, if there are people who are building in this government today, then they are lucky. Because a lot of people build houses in Patriotic Front time. Okay? What are you going to do to ensure that you bring back our glory days of not having road shedding in this country? What are your plans, sir? I think this is what I can say over this matter. Thank you so much, Mr. Mwamba.
Thank you very much. I've got another caller already waiting. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Wakanyama calling you from United States of America.
Wakanyama, who's located in New York. My dear brother, Mulishani, Mulibwanji.
Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, thank you so much for bringing this program, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Mulungu mwini wake ndiazaka kushitani reward pali nchito ikulu amene mugwira kuli Mazambian. Congratulations, MZ8 once again. Congratulations, my brother. Kanyama is behind you. Almost 90% bantu wa Kanyama wali behind you, Makebi Zulu. Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, I have only two things to ask. One, nipempa wa Makebi Zulu ngati mulungu wadalisa mwamene wadalisira hapa wakapoka ichifulo 2026 ine pempo yanga nipempa wakalete Mazambians wonse pamozi ikankale national rally yoshita unite Mazambians wonse national rally 10 provinces wonse ngati yode kusanga kulibe kusebenza antu afunika chiwa kaimirire kusanga kusebenza wakashite address chalo pali one Zambia one nation yazoona. This is my cry and this has been my cry ever since pamene naziwa uZambia numveka bwanji. Chintu cha number 2 wa Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Question yanga ni kuli Mazambians wonse. Who voted for Robert Chavinga to become a president of PF? Who voted for Robert Chavinga to become a president of PF?
Yeah, thank you.
Mazina ku registrar of society oto afake po Robert Chavinga ni ndani ndiye ma questions yatufunika kulamba kufunza wa Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I can see Honorable Makebi Zulu must be back now. We seem to have had some power issue, so I'll be reverting to him quickly. Please, let me just take the last 5 and allow Honorable Makebi Zulu to get. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
First of all, I want to congratulate Honorable Makebi Zulu for the trustworthy character he has portrayed.
Please hold on.
And he qualifies to be.
Yeah, proceed.
Yes. So I was just saying a vote of thanks to Makebi Zulu for how he has honored us with the remains of our former president. The most sensitive thing that I want to say is Honorable Mwamba, please, you are the one that is controlling social media as far as the PF wing is concerned. I would wish to advise I wish to advise you so that you can guide all of these people that are in diaspora to emulate the way you are doing campaigns. You are a presidential candidate. You are not standing on your name there. You are speaking for everyone. I want to put across a very sensitive thing that let no one be fighting each other. Let's endorse our president's variety. We are a democratic party. We don't want to see what our sister is doing, vice chair of Zambia, of attacking one person. We don't want to see that.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, my name is Auntie Millie.
Auntie Millie.
Zambia.
Auntie Millie.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. Yes. Okay. Is it Auntie Millie Beauty Products?
Yes, it's Auntie Millie Beauty Products.
No, thank you. Make your contributions, my sister.
Okay, yes. Yes, so I wanted to tell the Zambian people, I as a person who has worked, who has grown up with Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu is the man of the people. I remember the time that I was widowed and I had no one to tend to. He came through and helped me. Why am I saying this? And I want to ask this question to him as a brother and as a friend whom I've grown up with. Makebi Zulu, as a presidential candidate for the Republic of Zambia, what will be your key goals and tasks within the first 100 days? Number two, umuntu kuba member of parliament at a grade 12 certificate. As we all know, leadership is from the Most High. Leadership is from God. Now wisdom so pali your issue. Which a member of parliament Afrida got a grade 12 certificate. And number three, we have a lot of minerals in our country. If we say we've got a lot of debts, we've got gold, we've got a lot of minerals, where does all that money go? And then why don't we teach our children, especially ababasha kwatamano ku school, kwali babantu abafyalwa fe namano ayakuyifyalikira? Why don't we teach these abana abakwata ya kuifyalikira ama skills? Why don't they teach in schools if you kusanga gold, if you kuimba gold? Why should we learn about things that will not benefit us in life? So those are the questions that I had. Please. And then number 4, full time. Abantu nga baingira mu state house media. Balala betyo ba promise abantu. Ubunga all the time, it's not difficult for Zambians to buy millennium. But food, if you are unani, what is your say on that? Are you going to promise the Zambian people and stick to the promises that you make that Zambia will become great again? Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you, Aunt Millie. Let me just take the last 2 calls. I can see Honorable Makebi Zulu, they are back. We had the power failure on their side, and I use the opportunity to take as many calls as possible. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening. This is Mama T calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Mama T, be brief.
Yeah. Okay, I will. Thank you so much, Honorable Mwamba. Good evening, Mr. Zulu. We've heard your message is very clear. We've been waiting for this message for a long time. We wanted to hear someone who is talking about uniting this nation. That's what we want to hear from leaders. And to tell you the truth, Mr. Makebi, we are behind you. We pray for the unity in our party, PF. That's all we are praying for. Whoever is going to win at the convention, we are going to vote for that person because we are tired. We've gone through a lot for the last 4 years that Hakainde Hichilema has been ruling this country. This country has been divided than ever before. People have been divided. There's no love. So hearing a message of unity, they are calling you international Malukula. It's fine. We don't care. If you are able to look after the dead, what more the living ones? We are behind you. Don't be intimidated. We are behind you, Mr. Makebi, and we love you. And all the best for you. Thank you so very much, Honorable Mamba.
Thank you very much, my sister. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, comrades. My name is Gerald Batts, calling you from within Lusaka.
Gerald Batts,
good evening.
Make your contributions quickly.
My contribution, comrade, is very, very, very fast. I think I'll make it brief. Comrade, when he was talking and saying something, he spoke of him talking to Vasangwa and the like. My message to him basically is to say it's true when he said that PF alone cannot win the election unless it comes together with other people. So what is the comrade doing on that to unite with other political parties so that we can be able to be victorious next year? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gerard. We have another caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, Bamwamba. This is Sinyangwe Dani. Makebi Zulu, onani, bantu bamene batuma phone wonse, bakondwela. They are so happy about you. Makebi Zulu, onani, leadership is a calling from God. And when God calls you to save the people, Makebi Zulu, please remain humble. Onani Makebi Zulu, chalo chilanga na pali imwe. Olo imwe have liked what you've done. You want a country of unity. Can we all work together as Zambians, because we've got only one country, and that is Zambia. Makebi Zulu, we are so happy for you. We want change, and this change is not just change, but we want a Zambia for the betterment of our children and our future. Makebi Zulu, ngamukafika paja pampando. Onani bantu veni wa mutumilani, noti mukachinje nzelu wa Makebi Zulu. Zikomo. Ambassador Mwamba, God bless you for the work that you continue doing. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'll say I'm a sister. I'm a Zambian sister. I just have this contribution, Ramamba, tonight. It's interesting to see how Makebi is coming up, and congratulations once more. I have a word for my fellows. When we appear on radio, on this podcast, and we want to give an encouragement, we are happy that Makebi has come through. I want to remind us, as we speak, you see, we're trying to castigate other political parties, or especially maybe the ruling party and all this thing. We say, if we don't like what they are doing, something negative that they're doing, why are we advocating for it then? Why can't we be an example? Why can't we speak love? If indeed we want our leaders, whether by Makebi, whether by Mwamba, whoever that is going to be there, it's not their leadership alone that will make them succeed as better candidates. It's us, the mindsets. So even as we call in, as we say whatever we have to say, let us remember that even those that we feel are doing wrong to us, why don't we show them that this is how we must live? Zambia will only heal if all of us are lifting one another. We don't become better by speaking ill of others. We are not doing that.
Thank you.
Not getting any better.
Thank you for that uniting message. Yeah.
Yes, let us remind ourselves that we need one another despite all that has been happening. And if we really want to live like that, let us lead by example. Thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you. Oh, let me bring in Honorable Makebi Zulu. Honorable Makebi Zulu, you have suffered what Zambians go through every time. I saw, even when you had a power backup, you still went offline. But we use the opportunity to listen to the views of Zambians. I still have so many calls, but we can't go on forever. You've had a long day, long day. And tomorrow, another set of programs begin. Begin to answer whoever you wish you can answer to. Then after that, we'll see how we can conclude.
Perhaps to what seems to be cutting across everything is this idea of every time there's a new government, there's to try and do what the previous government did. For example, the issue of load shedding, I've said this time and again, that the Patriotic Front Party had started a program, a nuclear program, and trained about 100 students in Russia to be able to start this project where we're going to generate power using nuclear power. And that was going to make Zambia a power bank. so to speak. And I use this power bank to demonstrate what exactly I mean, in that we almost all have power banks these days because of load shedding, in the same manner that we're using a power bank to power this podcast this day. So we have this tendency of every time a new government comes, you want to undo everything that they've done, including the good. So what happened is when we began this program, Roland Musiska was heading that project. May he so rest in peace before he died. When the new Dawn government came through, they stopped that program. And stopping that program meant that the 100 graduates that we had trained were going to be jobless. Where are they now? Some are on the streets, some have gone to other countries where they're putting their skill, which we, at great expense, spent to train them. That could have led to a solution of power that we're having. But perhaps this being the first broadcast that we're having, it's not a broadcast about promises. And I would want us to have this thinking that it is not an I issue. So if you ask what are you going to do as regards this particular issue, what we have been discussing, what I have been talking about is that, can this be a national conversation? Can it be a combination of all of us in the political parties coming together? John Sangwa, be it Mr. Msoma, be it Fred Member, be it all the participating aspiring candidates in PF, why don't we come together and have this conversation as to what is best for the country? What is the best solution for the country? How much energy can we get from hydro? How much energy can we get from solar? How much energy can we get using wind energy? And how much can we get from nuclear energy? What is the best solution for our country right now? So what we are calling on is, let's come together. Let's have this conversation. Let's answer what people want. Let's not respond to people as though it's a contest between the government and the people. This question of load shedding is too much. This question of load shedding is affecting our industry. Why are we supporting power to this time? What are we doing with the monies that we are borrowing? Where are we taking this? Where are we channeling? We are borrowing. What is priority? For example, we heard that the president went to donate 10 million kwacha. And perhaps this is something that we have lost sight of. Where did this 10 million kwacha come from? Why is it bad? Was there a program that is there to take care of such kind of emergencies? We heard the minister say that the president wants to donate 10 million kwacha. Now, if you're going to donate, you can only donate what's yours. If it belongs to the government, it's not a donation to the people of Zambia. Where is this donation coming from? Why are we subjecting the Zambians to arms, to our goodwill? What policies have we put in place that respond to the needs of the people? That is a bigger conversation than saying the solution I have is this. What is the system like? And I keep arguing that we have a broken down system such that our politics is dependent on promises being made by individuals and not systems that work to satisfy the needs of the people. Perhaps if our systems functioned in the manner that they ought to function, perhaps if our systems were not broken in the manner that they are broken, all these would not be a question of what new inventions are going to be put in place. Because if the system is broken, even those new inventions are not going to work out at all. And we're saying, let's fix the system. Let's fix the issue of policy formulation, implementation, formulation of laws. What are the laws focusing on? What are they working to achieve? And every law that we put should serve the interest of the people. Every power that is given to any person should serve the interest of the people. So those are the issues that we have to deal with right now. Those are the immediate issues that we have to deal with. And by dealing with those issues, most of these problems will be sorted out. Most of the problems that we have are not problems that are showing a lack of solution, but the very people that are occupying those positions are the ones who are problems, and not the system itself. So we need to have a discussion beyond that. There are a lot of comments that have come through, but I would ask that perhaps we look beyond the issue of an individual being a solution to the malaise that we're facing. How are we going to work together? How are we going to cooperate as Zambians to end this issue of tribalism? Because it can't be done by one person. It can be condemned, but it can't be done by one person. What are the Zambians saying about this so-called tribalism? Someone asked a very interesting question. Why don't you have a discussion with President Hakainde Hichilema? Why don't you tell him in his face? People have attempted to tell him in his face. People have ended up being charged with seditious practices. Now, that is a conversation that we should have. In this time and age, should we have these so-called seditious practices, which was used in the colonial era to silence dissent? Do we need to silence dissent in a democracy when democracy is a marketplace of ideas, and marketplace of ideas are expressed through words, thought, writings? People should be able to express themselves. So you can't have people keep quiet merely because you disagree with what they said. You should be able to protect their right to say what they say, even when you don't agree with what they say. Someone said I should sue, is it Fair Media, who we landed in Zambia, then there was stoning on the Copper Belt. No, I will not sue Fair Media. I will not sue Fair Media because he was expressing his right to express what he's thinking, and I respect that right. Not that I agree with him, but any normal thinking person would know that his reasoning is flawed. So I do not need to protect my reputation over a flawed thinking, because others who hear what he say will say that's absolute nonsense and will not follow it. So it has no damage to my reputation whatsoever. In any event, we still must respect the right of people to say what they think. Who knows? We may learn a thing or two. There are a lot of questions, Ambassador, that have been asked. There are a lot of issues that have been raised. My sister Millie Beauty raises issues of concern as regard what my say may be on the issue of grade 12 certificate for one to become a member of parliament. It is that conversation as well which we must be having. We should not be telling people as government what we as government want to be in the constitution. People must be telling government what they want to be in the constitution. Most of the laws that we have are there because government told people what should be in the constitution. But why don't we do it the other way around? Let people tell you what should be in the constitution. Because it is a common saying that the person who sets the terms of reference determines what should be in the constitution. So far, as regards the amendment or the proposed amendments and the consultations going over the issue of the Bill 7, the president has set terms of reference. So he's determining what should be in the constitution. And Laura Miti did lament that our hands are tied. We can't wiggle, we can't maneuver, we can't even introduce anything new because it has been limited to these issues which the government is interested in. A constitution is not a constitution for the government, it's a constitution for the people. And as such, let us have a discussion. What framework are we going to use to collect views of the people? What is the credible way of collecting views of the people to amend the constitution? That is only after we come to a conclusion that we need to amend the constitution. Before there's a need to amend the constitution, There's no need to move motions or introduce bills intended to amend the constitution. The moment that you do, make sure that you set a framework, a legal framework that will be followed. In the same manner that previous governments have set a legal framework for amending the constitution, this government should do so. And I keep insisting, the government is not in competition with the people. The government is there to serve the people. The power is given to the government to serve the people. Consult the people. Do what you to do. The many calls as to how I've taken the issue of filing in. Like I said, for me, it's a solemn duty. It's a solemn duty to the country, an act of patriotism, which should be encouraged for every person, every citizen to participate in. And if this solemn duty as a patriot to serve your country, then you will know that what is paramount is protecting governance. Charles did speak passionately about the issue of the judiciary. He spoke passionately about how best we can safeguard the institutions of governance, and that is the conversation that we have introduced for us to be having. We need to do this, and we need to do this as soon as yesterday, for us to have a framework, for us to have a base, for us to have a system that responds to the needs of the Zambian people and not the needs of a minority. Bakanyama said we should have a conversation with all the Zambians. Pick a day, speak to the Zambians about tribalism. I would say that tribalism has been perpetuated mainly by politicians. And politicians that have not understood the very foundations of our democracy as a country. We as politicians have a duty. We have a duty to the country. We do not have a duty to the tribe. We do not have a duty to the region. We do not have a duty to individuals. We have a duty to Zambians to ensure that we are united as a country. For it is a common adage that says, divided we fall, united we stand. So let us desist from politics of regionalism. Let us desist from politics of appeasement and this blind loyalty of only supporting a person because you think they come from your region, or because you think you will be favored, or you are closely linked by reason of church, sect, or indeed anything that may be the connecting value. Let it be an opportunity that is given to all Zambians. Opportunities for all, in all sectors, for the benefit of Zambia. That is what I would say. But I would really like us to have a better and further conversations over the very important things that have been raised by the Zambians. And I think this is also a conversation that we as politicians must be having amongst ourselves. What is the vision of, or what is the Zambia that we want in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years? What are the policy measures that we have to put in place to achieve this particular goals? What is the legal framework that we need to put in place to regulate how we're going to achieve these issues that we want to achieve? Those are very important issues that we should be discussing.
Thank you very
yes,
much,
please.
Honorable
I would
Thank
end
you
there.
so much. We still have a lot of calls, but unfortunately, we just have to schedule you for part 2. I guess we allow you to do your campaigns, and then we bring you in. We're doing actually a round robin for candidates that they should come to this platform and sell themselves. What would be your last remarks? I can't hear you. I think there's no volume. Guys, just check.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Can you hear me now? Yes, thank you. Okay. Yes, we need to have that is united. The issue that we should be preaching at any given point, the issue that we have to be talking about at any given point.
Honorable Makebi Zulu, I have a very senior man. He's been calling on all lines, and I think it would be unfair. Father Oscar Pombo, Catholic priest from the Vatican. Let me just take his call. Father, you are special.
Yes, please.
We can allow you to call in.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emmanuel Mamba. Thank you so much for granting this precious occasion. I agree to our Honorable Makebi Zulu. And
I'm so sorry you've been calling. There are so many calls. I didn't see your call. I've just seen it. But you being a senior and, one of those guiding light for our country, will allow you to speak.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate even today listening to our Honorable Makebi Zulu. He has opened his heart to a discussion, a dialogue with the other politicians. That is the way to go, and we thank God to that. I just would like to relate to our Honorable Makebi Zulu what has happened in the history, so that I can encourage him to be courageous and to continue with his humility, humbleness, and very sober. Makebi Zulu, this is an advice for you, and it's an encouragement. I'll go back to when Jesus Christ had to go and visit Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was a Pharisee, and he knew that he was not honest in handling the funds. So Jesus Christ has to go and visit Zacchaeus' home. And he was so surprised. He said, how come my Lord can come into my house? I'm not worthy. And he said, yes, you are also my brother. Second, the mother of Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, had to take a journey, a one-day journey, to go and visit the cousin, who was called Elizabeth. Elizabeth was older than Mary. Mary was a young girl, about 19 years by that time. But she was supposed to give birth to the Son of God, Jesus Christ. But she took a journey to go and pay a visit to an old woman, Elizabeth, because she showed some humility and humbleness. The last example that I'm giving Makebi Zulu, you yourself, I really am impressed. You have already given the signal to the Zambian people. You have gone to see the Vice President of PF. You have gone to see the Bishop of Lusaka, Bishop Banda. You have gone to visit John Sangwa. I request you go also and pay a visit to the chief of former President Edgar Chagwalungu in his homeland. Go and get the blessing, and then you continue your visit to all politicians to try and bring together and sanitize the political status in Zambia. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you. Honorable Makebi Zulu, this is a dear brother of ours from Italy, Father Oscar Pombo Mwansa, and I had to allow him. But please continue with your closing remarks. You also can answer Father Donosco, as we call him.
Yes, please. So I'm encouraged by the words of Father Pombo, and there's nothing more to add to what he said. That's wisdom, and it should certainly be followed. And democracy is a discussion. It's consultative in its very nature, and we have to continue doing so as a nation for the good of our nation. And let's continue to propagate the idea of one Zambia and one nation until it becomes a reality in our lives, in all institutions of governance, in everything, at work, at play, at school. It must become a reality that is going to please, that our forefathers foresaw was a possibility and started working at it. We can't drop the ball now. We have to continue working on that. So my last remarks is, let's unite as a country. Let's unite as political parties. Let's unite as families. Let's unite as a church. Let's unite as different bodies existing in Zambia, different institutions, so that we can see the greater good that we have to see for our country. I have very little to say tonight. I'm really overwhelmed by the great messages and support, and I wish to say thank you to everyone who called in, everyone who had a message of encouragement, everyone who had a different perspective, if any, and it's all right to agree, it's all right to disagree, and it's okay to exchange ideas, and it's okay to say, I don't know, what do you think? And when we learn to do that, then we'll create a better country for our children and our children's children. I wish to thank you, Amamba, for this opportunity that you gave me to appear on your show once again.
Thank you very much, and I would like to thank you, Honorable Makebi Zulu, for making time and for appearing on our program. We wish you well in your endeavors and on this journey to restore, rebrand, and renew, regenerate the Patriotic Front. Wish you well, and we hope that you can come back. As you can see, the phones are still ringing. So God bless you, and thank you for the opportunity. To our dear viewers, we're hosting former Provincial Minister of Eastern Province, former Malambo MP, and renowned Lusaka lawyer, Makebi Zulu. He filed in his nominations today as a candidate and to contest on the PF ticket. We have a power-packed week. We are hosting Brian Munduvile. We are hosting Harry Kalaba on Wednesday. We are hosting John Sangwa and Dolika. They are coming on Sunday. We are hosting Grayford Monday, who has also confirmed. We have a power-packed program to expose as many leaders to you as possible. So thank you for your support. And to the callers, thank you. You make the program interactive. You help me even with the questions that I didn't ask. Thank you for following. For those that are on YouTube, a growing audience is coming there. Just, subscribe so that every time we have a broadcast, an alert can come to you and you can participate. So God bless you, and thank you for joining this broadcast. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Tizapitiliza kukamba nkani za chitukuko konse kwa mnetienda. Koma pamunilole kuti nimchiteni invite ku inauguration ceremony next year mu August ku Hero Stadium. Pamune kuzabwera MZ8 new Zikomo.
Kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Can't Imani zanu ndizopanda pindu. Anakulira miseu mwatu. Tikufuna chilengedwe chatsopano. Osati mapocket anu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, time is up. When you're going is not enough. Time is up. For your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. When you're going is not enough. Time is up. For your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand. We fight together for the children, for a better forever. When you kunata pano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko.